It's been a long time since we did this video, and I've been slacking. You call me a slacker, but this is the Bronze Age. I meant to record this, I don't know when, but quite a while ago. I decided it because I have been feeling too well on a mental level. So yeah, in case you're wondering. So I'll tell you how late I am to do this. Currently, because I watch these, I haven't stopped watching these films. I still watch them every day. And right now, I'm on the last one of the Renaissance. So you can say I'm a bit late to the party. But this time, there's no digressing, no long spiels. You got all the films. This time I'll have good things to say about them, unlike maybe previous eras. We got 8 films in total. This is one of the weirdest eras, the Bronze Era, otherwise known as the Dark Age. I would consider half this age a Dark Age and the other half Bronze Age. Pretty much the 70s films consider them Bronze, and the 80s films consider them Dark Age. Because I feel like some of the 70s films are definitely considered classics, even if they lack, some of them are lacking. So, let's get into this. This is one of the weirdest ages. Not the weirdest ages, wartime and post-Renaissance, I would say, are better for that, but this one is very weird, to say the least, when it comes to quality. Let's get on with it. Number 8 from 1985, The Black Cauldron. This is a film that I heard about, and I know the stories about it. Not really the stories, but I know this film is kind of the infamous one, where this was a bomb. Got an itch, sorry. It didn't do well in theaters. It lost to the Care Bears movie. It's a shame. It's based off a book series which I never heard of, so I can't compare. The movie itself is a stinker. It's really forgettable too. Like, I can tell you what happens, but like, some kid has a pig, and he has a guy who's barely in the film. Although the Horn King is the only thing good in the film, but he's barely in it. This film was cut down because it was too dark, and I feel like that's where the film shines already, is in its dark stuff. There's one scene where I forgot the kid's name. What the fuck? What was it? There's some main protagonist. He's kind of annoying. He brags about doing nothing, and he has a pig. He has to find his pig. There's inside the castle of the Horn King. And it's really cool, kind of, because it's really dark era and age inside of it, and dark aurora, however you say it. I can't speak clearly, but that was kind of, I like that, the inside of the castle. Then the kid gets locked up, and then you meet the other characters who aren't really interesting in slaves. There's some girl who's a princess, but it's the least, she just states it, but I doubt that's the case, because that's literally all there is to it. And so she's not making any list of Disney princesses anytime soon. There's some guy who plays, but I think I'm going to call it guitar, even though it's not. And that's it. And the string breaks all the time, because he lies. He's just not really funny. There's also this golem-sounding furry creature that's also really irritating and annoying. And that's most of the film. He gets a sword, then gets rid of it. Okay. And he's like, this kid, he doesn't really learn anything. They get the Black Cauldron from witches. They destroy it. Not really, but the Horn King is sucked into it. The only cool scene in the film, like I said, anything to do with the villain is cool. The rest of the film is just, it feels like it was half-assed, or like they barely thought it out. And that's the film. It sucked. There's no musical numbers in this movie. It's one of the first ones not to have any type of music. I guess Fantasia is, but it is kind of a different film. This film just wasn't good. It's very forgettable. The dark stuff's cool, but they cut out most of it, and that's where the film would have worked. But as it is, the characters aren't good. Even the villain doesn't really have much personality. He just has a good aesthetic to him. So it's very much a stinker. I didn't hate it though. It just wasn't good. I was waiting for okay, is there something good in here? No. Anyway, let's go to a different film. Number 7 is the Aristocats. If you like cats, you'll like this film. But if you don't, well, this is kind of similar to 101 Dalmatians, except this one gets, I guess I'll give it, I forget where I put this, all the film ranking, but in a way, it's better than that film, because it doesn't have them watch TV the whole time. There's a lot of filler, and there's like nothing really going on. But yeah, this is very similar to the 100-Year-Old Dalmatian, except not as, they don't have a bunch of copy and paste dogs on screen. It's really boring, honestly. Nothing happens. I like Thomas O'Malley only because he's voiced by Phil Harris, and that's about it. The villain is one of the worst. He's a butler whose motivation is so weak. It makes no sense either. The cats can get all this inheritance, and he's not. But he's going to get the inheritance if the cats aren't there. But think about this: if that woman dies, then the cats get the inheritance, but they can't own the inheritance. So if she's still taking care of the cats, you know what that means? That means he gets the inheritance without having to kill the cats. Why would you even kill the cat? Or not even kill, he's failed at doing so. You give it, it's just really bad motivation. Come on, this guy sucks so bad at his job. It's not even funny. This guy, he was so dumb the whole movie. It's like, this is supposed to be our villain? It's not even dumb in a funny way. This is supposed to be like, oh, it sucked. The cats just don't do anything. They're trying to be cutesy. It doesn't work. It's really annoying. There's a racist Siamese cat, and that's it. That's most of the film, just them going back home after getting kidnapped. Not the book, but yeah, they got catnapped, I should say. It's not good, and it might be worse than Black Cauldron, but it has songs in it, and some of them aren't bad. Number 6 is The Rescuers from 1977. This film is this is another one that wasn't very good. It's nice. I like the mice. Miss Bianca and Bernard, they're nice. They fly an albatross, which I like that. The kid, is her name Penny? She sucks. She's annoying. There's either two different Disney kid characters. There's the good ones and there's the bad ones. If they're bad, usually because they have like the most annoying voice in the world. This is one of those times. So recently, she's really obsessed with this doll, and for some reason they just think the villains don't get rid of it or something. So it seems like a way more of a hassle. Like, why are the alligators picking up the dumb plush or the Winnie the Pooh thing looking? I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. The villain's also weak. Once again, I guess weird design. They don't do anything with the animation though, so it just sucks. Nothing about the film really makes sense. So this is kind of a weak plot. Like, you think you could come up with something better than mice to do. At least to get they actually have some reason to help out, I guess. But yeah, it's like kind of like, it is pretty just like weak. It's like almost the film just get the diamond, and just like the villain just another dumb villain. There's like, for no reason, this villain could have adopted the girl. She was an orphan already, but instead of doing that, she had to kidnap. It's so stupid. You know, it's like, come on. And then she has like, I'm gonna be nice to this character. Like, that was not your first thing. There's like weird sidekick guy. Overall, it's just but I like the animal stuff, even though it's not the most memorable thing. They have do some interesting stuff there. That's The Rescuers. They couldn't rescue the film though. Number 5. Most of these films aren't good, to be honest, but there's a lot to talk about. Number 5 is The Fox and the Hound, or pretty boring until the end. The Fox and the Hound is about a fox and a hound. That's it. I was kidding. That's not gonna be there. That's what I want to talk about. I can speak, but that's not what I'm gonna talk about. But yeah, they befriend each other. There's QT scenes, I guess. Every film has to have that. Oh, but there had to be enemies. The guy's just weird. Grandpa Joe, I'm gonna call him, because he has the same voice. Yeah, like, I'm gonna kill the fox for coming to my property. It's pretty weak. I like when he gets out in the wilderness, and that's, I guess, interesting. But yeah, it just doesn't really, not much happens, and then it's kind of boring. There are songs, but they're not traditional musical thing. It's just sung by the owl, who's Big Mama. Just nothing really works in this film. I feel like the one dog should have died, and honestly, I can't really remember what really happened. It's like, I remember all of what happens in films, but here at Fox Town, he fights a bear at one point, and that's when the Todd gets, like, or not Todd, Copper likes him now again. It's really weird. They could have rewrote this and make it work better. Maybe make it a bit darker. Not as dark as the book, which is messed up, but yeah, it's kind of a weird book to adapt, but they did it. Fox and the Hound. you can skip this one. Number 4 is Oliver and Company. I don't like this film for one reason, which is the fact that Billy Joel's in it, and that's about it. This is one of the weirdest retellings of a book of a famous story ever. I can't speak. The last 4 were based off kind of obscure books, really. Some of them don't even have Wikipedia pages. But Oliver and Company is based off a very famous book written by Charles Dickens, and the only film adaptation of one of his works. They did A Christmas Carol multiple times, but actually, yeah, they did Christmas Carol, a film starring Jim Carrey. That's technically Disney, but that sucked, and it's not part of our animation thing, so we'll ignore that. But they did some weird changes. I actually haven't read the original story, but I do know what it's about. And of course, it ties into a musical pretty well because it already exists as one. This is a very different one. For some reason, it's very weird. Okay, like I said, Billy Joel is the best part of the film. Ironically enough, he's actually pretty good at doing it as a voice actor, and his song's the best song in the movie. The rest of the songs are very forgettable. One of them is sung by wherever I forgot his name, but the guy from Back to the Future. I'll remember it. But yeah, that's about it. The film is kind of weak. You don't really care about, I guess, Oliver's connection to the girl who can't remember her name. The villain is terrible. This is one of the weakest villains. He's barely in the film. He's supposed to be a gangster, supposed to be intimidating, but he sucks. To make it pour salt and open wound, I guess there, or insult to injury, however you say it. He's based off one of the most iconic fictional villains of all time from the original story, and he sucks in this version. He gets run over by a train. That's about it. This film doesn't not much happens. There's a poodle in there. There's a Hispanic, I guess a Mexican Chihuahua. That's it. It wants to be like a musical thing, but just kind of does weird stuff in it. There are good elements to it, but the main story doesn't really kind of lacks the heart that it needs because a lot of stuff is rushed. You don't care about their relationship between like the Oliver and his new owner. Yeah, that's just kind of weak. I could rewrite it, but then again, I have to read the original story. This is an easy rewrite to make that film work. Overall, I feel like I guess you do, but not many people really remember this film other than the one song. So, why should I worry? Why should I worry? Because top 3 are the only good films on this list. These top 3 are the only films I'd recommend you go out and watch, because these films are actually really good. Number 3 is The Great Mouse Detective, also from the 80s. I forgot to mention some of the years for these films, but Great Mouse Detective, it came out in the 80s, it's the only good film from that decade. Actually, Oliver & Company's not bad, but Great Mouse Detective is actually a pretty good film. Like, I recommend this. It's a mouse version of Sherlock Holmes. And you think, oh, it's like a narrative twist, but no, it's based off a book series called Basil Baker Street, which is just a more young kiddie version of Sherlock Holmes, which, you know, Sherlock Holmes is already made kind of at any age level, so that's kind of weird. But this exists. Why is this film so good? Well, we have finally smart characters. Most of these villains are dumb, and they suck. As you can see, most of these villains aren't good beforehand. But Ratigan's, he's a good villain. He's voiced by Vincent Price, and apparently this is his favorite role ever, which is one of the weirdest things. Yes, apparently playing an animated mouse is his favorite role. Or, not mouse, rat. He's a really good villain, and both the protagonist and the villain are smart, and it comes off, and you can kind of see that, rather than just being kind of dumb, like, oh, it's for kids, and we don't care. There's like for creative, small stuff going on. There's a lot of, like, more risque stuff in the film, too. It's a lot of fun. The ending is exciting. There's like only 3 songs. 2 of them are sung by Vincent Price, which is great. Yeah, just a nice mini Sherlock Holmes as a mouse movie. Like I said, great ending on Big Ben, where the villain and hero face off. Good villain, actually a pretty underrated villain. Ratigan's pretty great. I highly recommend this film. I got nothing else to say, but go check it out for some squeaky good fun. Okay, here we go. Number 2 is Robin Hood. You all know this film's good. It's such a great, despite the fact that it had such a cheap budget, it's still a great film. You got Robin Hood, you got Little John, You got Maid Marian and Tucker Friar Tuck, whatever his name, and Prince John and all the other characters. This is my favorite version of Robin Hood, which says a lot. There's a live version of Robin Hood. It's a furry version, as some people say, because this film did, I guess, start that weird fan base. But it's a good film. The characters, and it has nice songs, actually pretty underrated songs. And, you know, I think it's a pretty good film. It has some great action scenes despite the budget. Its villain is pathetic, but in a way you're supposed to be pathetic. Not like the butler from Aristocats who sucked. Prince John, he's not even, he wants to be the king, but he's too much of a little mama's boy to step up. There's a lot of creative gags in there. We got Little John, who's pretty good. Robin Hood's a nice character. He has a pretty good chemistry with Maid Marian, despite the fact they're not on screen together that much. You feel like, yeah, you want the characters to win. I mean, it's kind of hard not to. You want to take down tyrants and steal from the rich to give to the poor, kind of thing. It's a great film. If you want to watch any version of Robin Hood, watch this version. It's full of adventure. Both ages will like this. Not both ages, both genders will like this film. It's a good swashbuckling time. It's not a pirate movie, but I just want to say that word. Number 1, you already know what this is, because this is one of the best Disney films. It's The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. This one is not really even I can't speak. This one shouldn't really even be counted, because all it really is just a compilation of the old some 60s shorts, really, and one from the 70s. But they all tie together to make a film that has no real conflict and like no real story. And somehow it's one of my favorite Disney films of all time, because that's how good these characters are. Winnie the Pooh, I think, is one of the best kids characters. Like, there's some bad characters out there, like Barney. Winnie the Pooh is like one of those like good kid characters, because he's not a perfect character, unlike someone like Barney who's supposed to be always happy. He's fat and he's proud of it. All the other characters have some problem that makes him for some reason makes him really likable. There's something about the world of Winnie the Pooh that's so good. You want to live in the 100-acre woods. You want to play with them. There's so little conflict, but just the little stories make the film just feel like it brings you back to being a kid, and in a good way. It's a good film, and I just don't know how they made something so small feel so big. And I love the way it's told for the book, and how the characters break the fourth wall. Mostly the narrator and Winnie the Pooh, which is great. There are a lot of fun gags in there. Even like I said, all the characters are funny. Even to adults, it's still a charming film, and I highly recommend it, especially if you want like a good time. It's a really charming, delightful film, and I recommend everyone watch it. That's the end of the video. Next time we'll be talking about the Renaissance pretty soon, hopefully, because I'm almost done it. Hopefully I didn't mess with anybody's childhoods too bad. I'm not sure if anyone really likes the films I made fun of that much as some others. But next time, like I said, we're going to the Renaissance, and that's going to be good old fun. Just remember that when you wish upon a star, your dreams can come true. Or they won't. It's all up to you.